This lesson is about astral projection. Astral projection is known as Mayyantan, pronounced Mayyantan, in Dravidian Aaiyyan. In this lesson we will teach you how to do it, what to expect, and how to prepare so that you can master it quickly. We also encourage you to share this lesson, as using these methods it is possible to astrally travel with companions, if you perform the ritual simultaneously or in close proximity. Also, if you work in groups of people, then opening the loka dimension required to facilitate astral projection will be easier. This lesson is a summary of Guru Dhaval's earlier talk on this subject, and we will quote his teachings throughout. Hindu Aaiyanists use the techniques we are going to present as a means to easily traverse dimensional space and find yantras, which are symbolic scripts. These yantras, or scripts, are keys or portals to other dimensions and help Aaiyanists commune with otherworldly beings or easily take energy from these realms to affect our physical reality. If you watch our other lessons and read our scriptures, you will know this already. However, the best way to explain this is to actually do it. We will paraphrase Guru Dhaval now. The greatest teacher on how the universe really operates is to actually explore the universe yourself. And hopefully by teaching you the techniques of astral projection, as understood from a Dravidian science perspective, you will be able to travel to the stars and beyond. You will be able to travel to the inner universe and the outer universe and the countless dimensions and planes of existences that surround us and make up part of Brahman. In Aayyanism, we are taught directly and strongly that everyone is part of Brahman, and there are many doorways and paths to Brahman. So there are many methods of astral projection, and all are valid as they all come from Brahman oneness. The method we will reveal in this lesson is one of the ancient Dravidian Aaiyyanist methods. And the fact that you are hearing or reading this lesson indicates strongly that you were, are, and will be a Hindu Aaiyyanist in your previous lives, this life, and your future ones. So you will be very attuned to these methods if you try them. In the next few minutes we will tell you how to become attuned, what to expect, what time to start, how to prepare, how to position your body and how to meditate, and finally how to astrally project. Initial work before starting astral projection. Dravidian Aaiyanists use the Kondalvya Loka Yantra as this is designed to increase your energy levels. This is one of the 10 lokas that are used to increase your meditative energy and as such become one with the meditative act. A loka is a positive dimension, and this yantra you see is a key to this positive space that is found to aid in astral projection. If you become attuned to this loka yantra, your astral energy levels will increase. To become attuned to this state, you can look and study the loka image, and continually draw the loka on a piece of paper, or on the ground, until you have truly memorized it. Another effective way of becoming attuned to the loka is to print it out and stare at it, until it begins to fade from view, and your inner eye will perceive the loka opening up before you. You must stare without looking away or trying to blink. This will enable your mind and spirit to enter the first Dravidian meditative state, which is receptive to opening lokas and talas. Expectations. We will briefly talk about what to expect. When you perform astral projection, you will be able to raise your energy levels such that your conscious mind and spirit can be transported immediately to the area that you wish to travel to. When you first perform astral projection, you will initially be only able to travel to areas where you have been to. Later on, once you are attuned to the methods and energies, you will be able to travel to unknown places, worlds, and even different dimensions, and even different times, from the distant past to the far future. Also, when you first perform this act, people in the areas you travel to will not be able to see you. However, once you perform these acts over and over again, your spirit, or Atman, energies will be crystallized and become so powerful, such that you will be able to be perceived firstly by others who are spiritually inclined, and then later on by the general population. There are in fact thousands of cases of astral projection being carried out by spiritual masters, such that their devotees see and experience the master in perceived form, in multiple locations, as if they were there in the room with yourself. As Aaiyanists, we all know of Swami Adhavan, who died and was seen by his many followers around the world for a few hours, as he preached his last sermon, The Silence of Pacifism. If you perform this ritual in a group, initially you will see slightly different interpretations of your reality, and not see the presence of others. However, the more times you perform the ritual, you will begin to see the same reality. In other words, the dimensional spaces will be aligned to you both, and your perceptions of them will match. Finally, you will be able to see each other as you cross between dimensions. This is one of the methods Aaiyanists use to find yantras, keys, to other places and confirm the yantra with others. What time to start? A good time to first prepare and undertake the journey of astral projection is to perform these actions in the morning, when you are most refreshed. There is a tendency to drift into a sleep state if you are tired, thus you must first perform these actions in the morning. As you become more attuned to the methodology, you will be able to perform these actions at any time of the day or night. How to prepare? The first thing you must do is absolutely cleanse yourself. One can do this by having a shower first, followed by a bath. Or if you live in an area that is scarce of water, then just washing with a jug in the traditional way. In some Aaiyanist households, you will clean the body with a shower and then lie in a bath. This cleansing tradition has also traveled to other Asian countries such as Japan. Though in Aaiyanist traditions the bath is not as hot due to cultural and economic reasons, such as the cost of heating a large body of water. The cleaning process not only cleans your body but also cleans the mind and spirit. Cleaning your face with warm water also invigorates the soul and awakens you. Ready for the journey to commence. Once you have completed the bath, dry yourself and put on a loose garment, such as a robe or traditional Aaiyyanist clothing. You can even use pajamas or other loose-fitting clothes. How to position your body? To begin your journey, you need to sit comfortably. There are various positions you can take, such as sitting crossed-legged, or in the lotus or half-lotus yogic position called Udapian, in Dravidian Aaiyani. One can also engage in the kneeling yogic position called Madikuttelan, pronounced Madikuttelan, in Dravidian Aaiyani. This is where you simply kneel with your back straight and sitting on your heels, as anyone would traditionally kneel. There are also some people who cannot sit on the floor. They can use a chair. Whichever way you do it, one must understand that it is vitally important that you do not lie down, as there may be the tendency to sleep to a new practitioner of these arts. However, some adepts also astral project best when they are in a lying down position, on their back. As an Aaiyanist listening or reading this lesson, you must find your own attuned path. You will know from your own subconscious karmic memory, which is the best method for you to use. How to meditate? Once you are in your position, you must then meditate on the Kondalvya Loka, pronounced Kondalvian. This is designed to increase your energy levels. This is one of the 10 lokas that are used to increase your meditative energy and as such become one with the meditative act. Before beginning, you must attune yourself to the Kondalvya state. The ancients taught us a breathing method of achieving this attunement or echoing of the Kondalvya state. So, this can be achieved by breathing very slowly and deeply 10 times. For each breath, inhale to the count of 5, hold your breath to the count of 10, and then exhale slowly to the count of 10. You must count not too fast or not too slowly, but to your own attuned state. As you breathe, try to raise your consciousness above your head. You can also chant the mantra, or name, of the Lokas Yantra. By chanting the sacred mantra of Kondalvian over and over, you will also become more attuned to this meditative loka, such that you will be able to enter it by will alone. Now, Once you have memorized the Kondalvya Loka, you can then visualize it. You should sit in any yogic position that allows you to relax but not fall asleep. Close your eyes and visualize each stroke of the loka being written in either a glowing blue or a golden pulsating resonating ink in front of you. In other words, draw the Kondalvya Loka slowly into your mind's eye. As each stroke of the ink is perfected in your mind's eye, breathe very slowly and count in your mind from 1 to 5 for each stroke that you perfect. You must do this and complete the loka in your mind's eye until all you can see is the finalized loka, glowing golden or glowing blue, and this should surround you. Note, some Aaiyanists are attuned to the golden glow and some to the blue. It is up to your own discernment to find the correct path. You will know which is more comfortable to use. How to astral project? The next stage of this astral process is this. Once the loka has been created in front of you, use your mind to pass through it. Mentally hold on to the loka image and drag yourself through it. You can then direct your conscious to the area you wish to travel to. Initially, it will be a space that you have been to before, a familiar place. One of the easiest methods to train is to visualize and travel to an adjacent room in your own house or dwelling. See, feel and experience everything in that room, and then when you alighten from the meditative state, go to that room and note down all that you see and cross-correlate with your own spiritual perception. This exercise is to basically attune your mind to this physical plane, but from an internal perception. You will then experience the astral projection as if you are there in the physical. Another method is to astrally travel to a place that you know well, such as your old family room of your parents or another area that holds extremely strong mental, emotional, and spiritual connections with your soul. Again, once you break from the meditative trance, you must make notes of what you see. And then cross-correlate with this reality, to train your inner perception to become totally attuned to this reality. In this way you can then form resonant bonds with this reality and a spiritual reality that enables you to travel in this material sphere. If you do not experience the state of astral projection the first time, please keep trying and trying. It is like learning a language. If you do not practice, you will never be able to speak, converse, and dictate your will. We cannot stress this enough, you must practice. It is also good to perform this meditation and astrally project with someone else, either in the same room or in different areas at the same time. This way, you can both see each other and help one another through the various dimensional spaces that you will journey to. In fact, it is easier to break through the loka barriers if more than one person opens the Kondalvya Loka. Thus you will sometimes see many people meditating in Aaiyyanist temples at the same time when they perform this ritual. Many Aaiyyanist children also perform this meditation in groups while they try to master the art of astral projection. To break free from the experience, you need to pass back through the loka yantra into your own body, and as you pass, merge the loka yantra with yourself. The reason we do this is so that the resonant energy of the loka is amplified and does not dissipate quickly if we pass back through the loka. It dissipates more slowly and actually leaves a trace residual energy signature upon your Atman, your soul, that lends itself to resonance. To further merge oneself with the loka, you can then rub the loka image out using the perception of your hands. Trace the images of the loka backwards and see the images disappear and enter into yourself. This further strengthens the loka inscriptions into your Atman or soul. It should be noted also, there is no risk of suddenly waking up and being outside of your conscious state. In fact, some people are so shocked by the experience of astrally traveling and seeing themselves, loved ones, and other entities that they are flung straight back into their body via the power of their own conscious will. Thus, we cannot stress enough the need to practice meditation and mind control first. Also, working in a group lends itself to more control and more resonance with the Kondalvya Loka. Later on, When you have mastered the basic forms of astral projection in our reality, you will then begin to become attuned to other realities and other spiritual realms, or realms of varying energies. One of the strangest things you can do is astrally project yourself near to where you are and observe your own body. Once you are very attuned to this, and I suspect many people listening or reading this lesson are, as they are Aaiyanists in their previous life, you will be able to astrally project with your eyes open. Your astral being will see your physical body sitting or lying down, but the physical body will also see the astral body from the corner of your eyes. Try it now and see if this occurs. So, in summary, sit in a yogic position. Draw the loka into your mind's eye. Visualize it until you have drawn the full loka image in either golden or glowing blue. Pass or drag yourself through the loka and enter the place you wish to visit. Initially choose a place you know and have a great connection to, or an adjacent room. Or choose directly in front of yourself. You may then explore the area and make notes of all things that you can see, visualize, smell, and taste. You will use this as a benchmark to compare your spiritual reality with the actual reality. Once they get in harmony, you will start to become more resonantly attuned to this reality. Once you are more attuned to this reality from an astral perspective, you will get the strength of mind to be able to travel to other places, worlds, and dimensions. Finally, to end the session, pass back through the loka and then erase the loka yantra and have it merge into you. This will help build the resonant bond between your Atman and the Kondalya loka. Each stroke of drawing and erasing each loka symbol should be 5 deep breaths, so must be performed slowly and meditatively. This is to ensure you have the correct mindset to raise your energy levels. And this is what this exercise is all about. To raise your energy levels such that you are able to remote travel with your mind, your spirit, and ultimately for others to see you in your astral form. We should also mention a word of warning. As you travel in the astral plane, in this reality and the others that are close to it, you may encounter entities, both positive and negative, controlling and non-controlling. This is also another reason for performing this ritual with others. The initial exercise of traveling to an adjacent room should be safe, but there are still beings that will detect your resonance and try to interact with you. As we are all part of Brahman and one with all, do not be afraid. Simply allow yourself to commune with these beings as you would engage with a fellow human, or an animal, or plant that you may interact with, in this physical reality. These beings may also act as guides to other astral realms, so do not be afraid to engage with them. As Aaiyanists, you should know and trust your own judgment.